Look down on your children, gracious Lord. We have the Father, we ask you, please, touch all four corners of the world, we have the Father. We ask you things in the mighty name of Jesus. We have the Father, we know you can, and we know you will. In your time, we have the Father. Right now, we have the Father, we come to you with open arms, we have the Father, and bend your knee. Ask you to look down on us, we have the Father. We have the Father, touch us with a mighty spirit of love. We ask you things in the mighty name of Jesus. We have the Father, oh gracious Lord. Those in the hospital, come bless them home. Prison walls, we have the Father. We ask you to please, to touch them, we have the Father. Build them up, we have the Father. Help us to be strong so we can serve you, O gracious Lord. We have the Father, in the mighty name of Jesus. Oh Lord, oh Lord. We ask you to please, touch the corners of the world, we have the Father. Touch the earth, we have the Father. Where the virus is at, we have the Father. We have the Father, please, help us, we have the Father. We know you can. We know you can do it. As we say, in your time, we have the Father. We have the Father, we ask you to please, to guide us, to keep us, we have the Father. Oh Lord, we have so much to be thankful for, Lord. Lord, we want to thank you for watching over us as we lay down there and thank you rest. We thank you for early rising this morning, gracious Lord. Most of all, we have the Father, we get whatever we lift you up. We just give us grace to travel around Warren County, we have the Father. We have the Father, there's so much we can be thankful for, Lord. We ask you, we have the Father, to touch the churches, we have the Father. The churches are closed, we have the Father. Touch the membership, we have the Father. Touch the pastor, the evangelists, we have the Father. In your name, guide us and keep us, we have the Father. Down on our jobs, we have the Father. Walk through all their jobs, we have the Father. Let us know it'll be one day, it'll be better one day for each and every one. Lord, please, sir, let's guide us and keep us. In your name, please, sir. Please, we have the Father. Lord, I ask you to look down on our church, family, Lord. Look down on our pastor. Lord, guide him, keep him, we have the Father. Build him up so he can be strong, we have the Father. In your name, Lord, look down on my family. Not only my family, we have the Father, every family, we have the Father. Right in the name of Jesus. No gracious Lord, oh Lord. We thank you for the rain. We thank you for the sunshine, Father. We thank you for all you have done for us, oh gracious Lord, in your name. No Heavenly Father, oh gracious Lord. We're down. We're going to get up, oh Heavenly Father, in due time. But right now, Heavenly Father, we have so much to be thankful for, Lord. But oh gracious Lord, we just said thank you for all you have done. No Lord, no Lord. We're going to last smile of the way, and we can't do no more. Father, we ask you, please, let us into your kingdom. In your name, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Let us all say amen.
Amen.
Let us say amen again.
Amen.
Truly, it's a blessing to be able to stand before you once again to let you know what the Lord said. I was all week I've been listening to gospel album and said from Lee Williams and the QCs. And it said that if I couldn't say a word, I just waved my hand. And as I sit and I laid down and I listened to those words, tears came to my eyes.
All right.
That if I couldn't say a word, I just waved my hand.
All right.
Such a blessing to have those who are sitting under the sound of my voice. I'm excited because the illustrious mayor of our city is with us on today.
All right.
And all I want to do is just give a shout out along with blessing to the first responders. We have 4 or 5 that's a part of our church family. We just want you all to know that we love you and we thank you for all that you are doing.
Yes, Lord.
If you would, if you turn, you can just write it down. We're talking today from 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 1 through 4. This is from the New King James Version of the Bible. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses 1 through 4. And they simply read, verse 1, moreover, brethren, I do not want you to be unaware that all of our fathers was under the cloud, all passed through the sea. Verse 2, all was baptized into Moses in the cloud in the sea. Verse 3, all ate the same spiritual food. Verse 4, and all drank the same spiritual drink, for the drink from the spiritual rock. Follow them. That rock was Jesus Christ. Just want to talk to you a little bit today about I go to the rock. I go to the rock. There's a song that says, I go to the rock, and it says, when I was down and out, when I was sick, I went to the rock. When I didn't have anybody that I could lean on. My mom and dad was gone, and it looked like all of my friends were gone. But who could I go to? And the song says, I go to the rock. In the New Testament, it also speaks about the rock or the stone that was rejected. A lot of folk believe that the church was built on Peter. And I've gotten into some arguments until I learned better that you don't argue about the Bible. Amen. When Christ made the statement, and he and the disciples was walking, and the question was asked, Jesus asked the question, he said, who do men say that I am? And Big Mouth Peter, what's his name? He says, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Others have said that he was Elijah, some say he was Moses, but Peter said that you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus looked at him and he said, Peter Barjon, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you. It had to have come from my Father in heaven. And he also said, and this is what a lot of folks get confused about, and Jesus said, upon this rock, yes, sir. Yes. I will build my church. Yes. Yes. Pastor Harris, where do the confusion come in? The confusion come in is because a lot of folks is under the understanding or the belief that the church is built on Peter. Yes. But I beg to differ with you. It wasn't that the church is built on Peter. The church is built on Peter's confession that he knew who Jesus was. And the Bible also tells us that Jesus is what? The stone that the builders rejected. Right. Jesus Christ is the chief cornerstone of the church. Oh, it's on the field. You can talk about it to me. Let me get off into this. The security of the believers is one of the greatest doctrines of our scripture. Unfortunately, the doctrine has too often been preached and taught with an adequate understanding of the doctrine and to the neglect of the warning of the scripture. The Bible also said, God said, well, don't change nothing. Don't change nothing in the Bible. One of the most famous scriptures I like to hear people quote is when they start talking about money. First thing they'll holler, money is the root of all evil. That's not what the scripture says. That's not what the scripture says. The scripture says for the love of money is the root of all evil. What people will do for money. And then you ask some and they say that Jesus never cried. That means that they don't know what the shortest scripture is in the Bible. Because when he went down to the graveside, when they told him that his friend Lazarus was dead, the Bible said what? Jesus wept. So that's what it says. The understanding and the doctrine of the scripture, some is not preaching the true word of God. Two of the greatest problems that the church is facing today is those of false security and overconfidence. This was a problem with the Corinthian believers. Now, in the city of Corinth, in and everything you may have wanted, you could find it in the city of Corinth. Simply because the city of Corinth was a seaport town. And for those of us who have been in the military, you know how it is around a military town. Anything you want. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Anything that you want, you can find it around the military town. But all these things were true of them, and some felt safe in Christ. But they were wrong, and they needed to be strongly warned, lest they be doomed. A lot of folks, just like today, and it really bothers me, what we are faced with this coronavirus, this stuff is serious. Over 50,000 people are dead from this stuff. And we still have hard-headed folk that won't obey our law, our authority.
Yes, yes.
I'm going to say it again this Sunday. The 13th chapter of Romans tells us our law enforcement officers are extensions from God, and we are to obey them. The man don't go on the television and go on YouTube and the internet just to be talking. He has some laws, some strict laws, level 5. That's hard.
Yes. Amen.
But he's doing it for a reason.
Yes, he is.
From higher authority that came down and he said, okay, Flag, this is what you have to do. Huh? He's not talking for the. Do you think he like walking around with that mask on his face? You think I like walking around with that mask on my face? I just sit in a conference hall 2.5 hours this morning with that mask on my face. And
Come on, y'all.
sister, brother,
Come on.
this is what bothers me. We, as pastors, we supposed to be setting the example.
Amen.
Well, how can I get the church to do what they say do, wear your mask and your gloves when you go out in public? If I go breaking out in public and I'm not, y'all don't want to help me.
Amen.
Huh? How am I being obedient? But then the 13th chapter of Romans,
Yes.
see, when we disobey those in authority,
Yes. Yes.
it's just like being what? Disobeying God.
Amen.
Because they are what? Blessings from God. Can you imagine what the world would be like if we didn't have police, sheriff, highway patrol? Can you imagine what it would be like? Oh, y'all don't want to talk back to us. All Israel shared in the blessings and the privileges of God. The word all is emphasized. Watch me. All, not some, all left Egypt, which was a type of the world. Now I need to stop right there. Everybody didn't leave Egypt because you had some folk that was living real good under the government of the Egyptians.
Yes, sir.
Had fine home, cattle, garden. They wasn't gonna leave all of that.
All right.
Some stayed. But according to some of the writings that I read, over 5 million folk left Egypt following one man and begun their journey to a new type of heaven, which was called the Promised Land.
Yes.
All began to walk through the wilderness of the world with those who truly believed and trusted God. Everybody that was in that 5 million didn't trust God.
Yes, sir.
Some was doing it just to be doing it.
Yes.
It rains on the just as well as the unjust. Those who didn't know who he was still doing it, but they did what they still received some blessing from the Lord.
Yes, Lord.
They did not truly believe and trust.
Yes.
They felt safe and secure because they were joining with those who were traveling to the Promised Land.
All right.
Israel had 5 remarkable blessings and privileges as they journeyed to the Promised Land. God saw to it that the believers had what was necessary to journey through the wilderness of life. And I just want you to stop and think about that. I heard today was a 14-day journey, but it took them 40 years to make it to the Promised Land.
All right.
I preached a sermon, and you know that it wasn't no Walmart, wasn't no Save-On, wasn't no Kroger, wasn't no mom and pop stores in the wilderness. Y'all been talking about children. There was nothing in the wilderness, but what? God did what he said he would do.
Yes, indeed.
He said, I'll never leave you, nor will I forsake you. That's my bright light to what we're going through now.
Yes.
I'm not worried about it.
Amen.
Because the Bible says what? I have never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Now, I'm not going to tell you it won't get rough.
Yes.
But all we have to do is look to the hill.
Yes, Lord.
Oh, my goodness. Well, what happened? Israel had a cloud that was God's presence.
Yes.
Israel passed through the Red Sea. That was God's deliverance. Israel was baptized into Moses and his leadership. Can you imagine why when he left Egypt, he was 40 years old, and he wandered around in the desert with Jethro's flock for another 40 years.
All right, come on.
But when God came to him and told him, he said, Moses, I have an assignment for you.
Come on, tell it.
I want you to go down into Egypt and tell Pharaoh
Yes,
to let my people go.
yes.
One man had to go down and face that government.
Yes.
And when he got down there, oh, you know the story. But when he came out, one went in.
Yes, sir.
But over 5 million came out.
All right.
And God was doing what? Taking care of them. So they were baptized into Moses' leadership.
Yes.
Israel partook of the food and water, God's provision, that he made for them while they were in the desert. Israel had the presence of Christ. Note how Christ is said to have been present with Israel. Now, you don't see nothing about Christ in the Old Testament. But a lot of the theologians are saying that all of those spiritual blessings that came down from heaven came through who? Came through Christ.
Yes, yes.
But you know, God wasn't going to give up his seat.
Yes.
Because we couldn't behold God in all of his glory.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I want to talk to you about this rock. There was a time when the leaders or renegades from the nation of Israel came running up to Moses and said, you should have let us stay in Egypt. What you bring us out here for? No water, no food. We could have done better had we stayed in Israel.
Come on, tell it.
Oh, Moses, the only thing Moses could do, his friends turned their back on him.
Yes, it did.
Only thing poor Moses could do was go home somewhere in the secret closet and talk to the Lord.
Yes, he did.
But I stopped by today to tell you, my sisters and brothers, the same God that delivered the nation of Israel out of the land of Egypt
Yes.
is the same God that's going to bring us through this we're going through right now. Now, there is some that won't see us get through this. I might be one of them. But the one that only, if you know who God is, all you have to do is just hold on.
Hold on.
Just hold on. And he will deliver. Then they was out in the wilderness. And we as Christians, we find some of the minutest things to complain about.
Yes, we do.
Now here, this man, you see what the power of blood can do.
Yes.
Moses put blood. Tell him to put blood on the doorpost and the lintel
Yes.
where they live. Because when the death angel come through Moses, that house gonna be protected. Lo and behold, the death angel came through. Nobody from the nation of Israel perished. That's enough right there to let me know that there is a God. But even today, I'm sure you have been to the devil is. The devil tried to create doubt.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
the devil tried to create doubt. A lot of times, I'm out there in the yard, I'm doing something, and I sit and I look, and I see the smallest little insect crawling around. And then I start thinking, there has to be a God.
Yes, it is.
Simply because man couldn't do that.
Yes, sir.
If man could make an insect that small, can you imagine how he would make it bigger and charge you for it? If man had control over our lives, can you imagine what it would be like? Huh? I just read on the internet, the old boy that had bought those 17,000 containers of hand sanitizer. To keep from going to jail, they had to donate them. God got away. He has a way
Yes, it is.
getting our attention.
Yes, sir.
Preachers, and the pastor, his wife died that Saturday. Hard-headed. Wear your mask. Don't assemble over 10 people. Hard-headed. Oh, the Lord gonna take care of me. He gonna wrap me up and protect me. God gave us 5 common sense. And we are to use them, especially if you're a child of God. Pastor died, now the wife died. then he died.
Yes.
Huh?
Come on, come on.
Others are dying. This stuff is for real.
Yes.
God is doing this, or he had let this happen to get our attention.
Yes, he has.
Our leaders have turned their back on God.
Yes. Yes.
And he done already said in his word. He said, I'll make the rocks cry out.
Yes.
You don't have to praise me. I'll make the rocks. Right, I'm going to talk about, I tell you, I don't want no rock
Yes.
crying, praying for me. Jesus Christ was the source, the energy, and the power with the nation of Israel in the wilderness. Let me share something with you. He told disobedient, watch disobedient. When they came crying to him for water, to Moses for water, Moses went to the Lord. See, these people down here want to jump on me because they say I brought them out here in the wilderness to die. There is no water. God told Moses, he said, Moses, I want you to go to the rock. Moses, go to the rock and lay your hand on the rock, Moses.
Yes.
Now, you notice I ain't say nothing about hit the rock.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
Moses, I want you to go to the rock
Tell it, Joe.
and lay your hand on the rock
Come on, come on.
and watch what happens. No, disobedient. He goes to the rock, he slaps the rock. Well, you just cut off your lifeline, Moses. Huh? Just because you were disobedient, I'm going to let you go up to the highest mountain.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to let you look over into the promised land. But you can't go
Come on.
because you've been disobedient. But I'm going to take care of my children. And water came from the rock. That wasn't good enough. They got hungry out there. Crying again. Oh, we're hungry, we're hungry, we're hungry. Moses, I'm going to take care of my children.
Yes, it did.
Huh?
Yes, it did.
From an ocean, a body of water, a distance away, came quail, flying so low, till the children of Israel, all they had to do was just reach out and get the quail.
Yes.
Disobedient. Manna, which was bread, fell from heaven. Moses, just tell them, it's good enough for the day.
Yes, sir.
Now, on the weekend, get enough for 2 days. Here we go. Hard headed. They gonna go out there and just try to hoard all of the food. He let them do it. Put it up. That night, after they had ate enough, that night, they went back to get some, full of maggots.
Yes.
God is nobody to play with.
Amen.
And he has told us, all we got to do is what? Trust him. God called the rock, the gush full of water. He called the Red Sea to roll back.
Yes.
Called the cloud to guide Israel and fed them in the wilderness with manna or bread. Called Moses and the promise of the promised land to the people.
Come on, come on.
Notice now what Paul is saying.
Come on.
Paul is proclaiming that Jesus Christ is Jehovah.
Come on, Joe. Come on.
And in the Old Testament.
Yes.
But we are saying that in the New Testament, he is called the Rock.
Yes. Yes.
He is our Lord and Savior,
Sir.
who's guiding and providing for us today.
All right.
Matthew 16, the 16th verse through the 18th verse.
Yes, yes.
Jesus asked the question, say, who do man say that I am? And Peter answered Jesus and told him, say, you are the Son of God.
Yes.
He said, flesh and blood didn't reveal this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I say to you, Peter, upon this rock,
Come on, come on.
I will build my church. Now listen, the church is not built on Peter,
Yes.
but built on Peter's confession.
All right.
Peter was the first to confess with full understanding that Jesus Christ is the Son of the living God.
Yes, yes.
Peter was the one who launched and laid the foundation of the church.
Yes.
He was the early leader of the church. He was the early leader of the church at the day of Pentecost, where 3,000 souls were saved. And at Caesarea, with the doors of salvation was open to the Gentiles. I wish you'd help me here. Therefore, Jesus was the rock and the foundation, that he was the first man that ever opened the doors of the church. Jesus Christ is the chief cornerstone, the stone that the builders rejected, and we are rejecting him today. There is no question that the church is built on Christ. He is undoubtedly the builder of the church, and he is the power that holds the church together. It is he who takes every believer and all the living stones and place them in position in the church. Are you going to help me? The church depends on Christ and not on Peter. Note the words spoken by Christ. My church is not belong to man. He said, I will build my church. The gates of hell should not prevail, because Jesus Christ will protect the church. Can I get a witness? We should go to the rock and often confess to him that he is God, and beside him there is no other. He is the rock. His work is perfect, and all of his ways are justice. God, true without justice, he's always upright and understanding. In Samuel 2:2, there is none holy like the Lord, for there is none beside you because you are my rock. That's what Samuel said. In Psalm 18:2, the Bible says the Lord is my rock and my fortress, and he will be my deliverer. Can I get a witness? Psalm 71:3. Be strong, but by strong habitation, to which I may resort continuously. You have given me commandments to save me. Listen to what the writer of Psalm said. You are my rock and my fortress. Psalm 94:22, it said, the Lord has been my defense. The Lord is my God and the rock of my refuge. Can I get a witness? I stopped by today to tell you, even though the church is not full, I want to tell you about my rock. I found him in August of 1958, and he's been walking by my side. Can I get a witness? I found him through hell in high water. He's been by my side. But early, one Friday morning, he took my rock and nailed his hands to the cross, riveted his feet, pierced him in his side. But I read that my rock said, you can take my life, but I gladly give it up. You can't take it from me. But this is the reason why I came here, that I might die, so that you might live forever. Can I get a witness? He died. Do you know he died? He died that Friday, went in the ground. Friday night, he was right there. Saturday night, he was right there. But help me say early. Sunday morning, talking about I go to the rock. My rock, inside of the rock, they're sealed by the rock. My rock, he got up with all powers in his hand. All powers in his hand. What's going on now? I'm not worried about it, because my rock in a weary land going to take care of me. He got me in his arms. That's why I don't have a problem saying I'm wrapped up, I'm tied up and tangled up in the Lord. Sometimes my way gets dark. Sometimes my body get a little weak. Sometimes I can't hardly see my way. But can I tell you what I do? I go to the rock, my rock, in a weary land. He got his arms wrapped all around me. Can I get a witness? My rock got up early Sunday morning with all powers in his hands. My rock is a doctor in a sick room. My doctor is a shelter in a time of a storm. My rock is all I need. My rock will wipe the tears from my eyes. Is he all right? Is he all right? Is he all right? When I get in trouble, I go to the rock.
I keep on joining. Lord, I'm joining
Talk about my rock.
through the storm and rain. Oh, I'm patiently waiting and watching for the Savior come again. Oh, I'm coming home, Lord. Every day I keep trusting.
Mayor, I want you to come. And he thanked God for that right there. He asked me a little over a week ago, downtown in the auditorium. I was standing outside, he walked past me, and he come and showed me. He said, I want you to pray for me.
Amen.
That's what he asked. He said, I want you to pray for me. And it hurts me as I walk around and I go through Vicksburg to hear people talk about our mayor. One previous to Mayor Flagg, I didn't know then. But I can attest, when I met this man, I met him at Gospel Temple Missionary Baptist Church. And ever since then, when I see him, if we don't meet out in the streets, I meet him in the church. I heard what he said at Carlos' funeral about what Carlos told him. I pray for my mayor every day. And it hurts me when I hear white and black belittle and put my mayor down. But that's part of life.
Yes. Yes.
That's part of life. I can't say I see some of these old ragged buildings being tore down.
Amen.
I can't say that.
Amen.
I can say at 6:30 this past week, he was standing out there beside me holding up a sign that the nurses came from the hospital. I ain't seen nobody else out there.
Amen.
I seen him out there. And when I see him, he tell me, and he'll tell me, he say, I see you everywhere.
Yes.
But everywhere he see me, somewhere we doing something for the Lord. So even if you don't, today, let's just pray for our mayor. Heavenly Father, once again, we petition your own grave.
Yes, Lord.
I come to you with your servant,
Yes.
the one that you have put in place
Yes, sir.
in Vicksburg, Mississippi, as the mayor.
Yes, sir.
Father, he had a load on his
Yes,
shoulder.
he do. Yes, he do.
He's put down,
Yes.
he's kicked around,
Yes, Lord.
he's laughed at,
Yes.
and he's talked about.
Yes, yes.
But I'm asking you today,
Yes.
just keep your arm
Please, sir.
around our mayor.
Yes, Lord. Please, sir.
Oh, he has a hard task in front of him,
Yes, Lord.
but we know
Yes.
that if it's your will,
Yes.
you just wrap your arms around him
Yes, Lord.
and protect
Please,
him.
sir. Please, sir.
In the wee wee hours of the night,
Yes.
when he lay down with problems,
Yes.
I ask that you would just move the problems back
Yes.
and let him have a peaceful night's sleep.
Please, sir.
When he sit down and eat a meal,
Yes, sir.
give peace
Yes, Lord.
to his mind and let him enjoy his meal.
Please, sir.
When he sit in the comfort of his home
Yes.
with his companion,
Yes, Lord.
bless him.
Bless.
Let him have peace of mind.
Peace. Peace.
And then those who you have put around him,
Yes. Please, sir.
bless him.
Bless.
One in front,
Yes, Lord.
one in back,
Yes.
bless him.
Yes,
So
Lord.
we take Deacon Flag
Yes,
and
Lord.
we lift him up to you.
Please.
He's yours.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you done protected him this far.
Yes.
Don't leave him now.
Please, sir.
Go with him,
Yes, Lord.
Mayor Flag. You make the decision through him,
Yes, sir.
because I know he prayed to you, but you be the decision maker.
Yes.
We take our mayor and we lift him up to you because we love you
Yes.
and we thank you.
Yes, sir.
And we give it all to you, and it's all in your darling son, Jesus' name, that I offer this prayer.
Yes.
Go with us and stand by.
Please, sir.
Let us all say amen.
Amen.
God bless God.